Good morning, this is Ashley, commonly known as Ashes on Fire. I'm going to attempt here to give you a little bit of a tutorial on how to do doll hair, maybe even show a little bit about doll eyes on here. Bear with me a little bit because this is my first time doing a video tutorial. There's probably going to be a lot of rambling. Okay, first I'm going to show you finished products first, so I'll move these out of the way. I'm going to show you, this is the rooted method, and these are all dolls based on Fiona McDonald's designs. On the rooted method, you pretty much take a crochet hook, you stab it through the scalp underneath, I don't know if you can get really good view here, but underneath one of these stitches right here, you put the crochet hook in, you pull up a piece of the yarn, you pull the loose threads through, and anyways, you get this look. I'll show you about that a little bit later. But this is my larger doll, and this is really thick yarn, so you're not always going to have it showing so much here. That just happens to be the type of yarn I used. But this is what it looks like. You can see some gaps in there sometimes with the rooted style hair, and you do get these little knots, but they're not usually as prominent as this doll right here. Here's also the rooted method on a slightly smaller doll. You can see there's a lot of gaps here, which I could go back and fill in, but that's a lot of hassle. But you see I kind of do a pattern. I kind of go straight across here in kind of rows, and I've got that throughout the doll. So I spread the hair, you can kind of see. This right here, he has actually wig style hair. It's not attached to his head currently, but you make these little loops, and you can either cut these loops to make it look straight, or I kept it right here in loops because it gives it kind of a curly look. That's his. He has the wig piece, and then he has this piece right here, which is the fringe, and I use it for his bangs because I wanted to give him kind of ow, just stabbed myself. I wanted to give him kind of a sideways part. Let me see here. See how it kind of goes to the side a little bit. His hair is really messy right now, but that's the loop method. And I'll show you. This is another wig, and you kind of see this is the underside, which will go flat against his head. And you have this is the top where it kind of rounds off, and the bottom which kind of has a straight piece. But anyways, this will go on his head. This is my afro here. Okay, this is my mini doll I did for a Traveling Dolls, and I kind of tried a different method here. It was a little messy because it was my first time, but if you see this piece right here, there's a string there. I pretty much took a whole bunch of yarn, wrapped it around a book, and then I tied a string to the middle here, and I let each end kind of drape over her, and it was really long, and I attached it by just kind of wrapping it around. And then I took it and I took a piece of thread and I weaved it in and out of the head right here. And then I took these long pieces and I stuck them back through her head. Then I did my curly pieces on top, which is not quite done, but I attached them just to that seam in her head. But that's so that you don't have all the gapping that you do with my other rooted hair. So anyways, that's just a couple different ways that I do hair. Some of them work really well, some of them don't. It really depends on your style. I'm going to work right now on this doll right here to kind of show you a couple different ways to do it. Let me go grab my crochet hook. Okay, so you want to use a rather small crochet hook, but you also don't want to use one too small. So it really depends on your comfort level because you have to get them up under these stitches. I'm sorry I don't have a better quality camera to show you real detail. Anyways, you want to get a book. You want to get a book that goes about as long as you want the hair to go. I want it to kind of go around her hips and waist. So I got a really large book here. One of my husband's wonderful, huge, giant novels. And you just take it at the top of the book and you wrap it around. And you keep doing this, you know, until you have much hair. You'll probably end up doing this several times, especially if you're doing a rooted method. It takes a lot of yarn. Let's see. You want a pair of really sharp scissors, not these. These are my kitchen shears. Shouldn't be using them, but don't know where my other scissors are. Anyways, then you just cut it all evenly. And you have this. You can either keep it like this, which will give you the illusion of straight hair, or you can, what I do a lot of times is unravel it. I usually keep, this is 4-ply, I usually keep 2 pieces together, and it gives it kind of a wavy look. And if you want a really frizzy wavy look, you can unravel it even further to give you really tiny pieces, which is what I did with this doll here. I gave her, they're pretty much 1-ply and a couple of 2-ply. This was, however, wrapped around dowel rods, dunked in water, and baked for about 30 minutes at 300 degrees, I believe, for about 15 to 20 minutes, and it gives it this nice bouncy curls. However, if you, the piece isn't working with me. Like I was saying, if you unravel it once more, you get these a little bit looser, but definitely you can see the curl effect that it'll give on your doll. So, those are a couple different ways to give them different styles of hair if you're using this. You can also use like the fun fur, which will give you really fun looking hair. And you can use all different types of yarn, chunky yarn, rough spun yarn, anything. This is some rough spun yarn. I'm sure this would make really cool looking hair because it's kind of, you know, rough spun and fuzzy and stuff. Be pretty interesting. Anyways, I'm just going to use the straight yarn because it's real easy to see. You want to kind of first figure out where you want your hairline to be. If you want, like, you know, widow's peak, if you want it straight across, whatever you want. I try to figure out, you know, my hairline. This one I'm just going to kind of do straight. And I really wish you could see a little bit better. But you hook it underneath a stitch. You can kind of see under one stitch. And you fold your yarn in half to where you have this little loop. Hook it. Bring it up to where it has a loop. Grab the yarn. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Pull it through the loop. And you pull it up real tight. You have to watch which direction your hair is going to fall, because it's going to fall whichever way the loop was going. So the loop, or the opposite way the loop was going. The loop was going this way, and then it hooks back over, and your hair is going to fall that way. So you want to kind of do the opposite.